Hello again, family and friends of First Christian Church. Hey, if you remember earlier this week, we touched on how to minister to people that are going through a crisis or a tough time without trying to answer the why question. So I kind of wanted to touch on that subject again. But first, if you have your Bibles handy, check out John 9, verses 1 through 3. You'll see that it says, as he passed by, he saw a man blind from birth. And his disciples asked him, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus answered, it's not that this man had sinned or his parents, but that the works of God might be displayed in him. So why do bad things happen to good people? It just doesn't seem fair. And if we're honest, most of us have wrestled with this question in the past. The disciples wondered the same thing. They knew that so much of the suffering and evil seen in the world is related to mankind's decision to walk away from God, also known as what? Original sin. From that moment on, sin entered the world, and we've been experiencing the consequences ever since. Consequences like what? War, racism, hatred, jealousy, violence, injustice, and so on. So when the disciples came upon a beggar who was blind from birth, they automatically assumed that someone's sin must be to blame, right? I think some of us fall in that same trap. Like many of us today, the disciples were asking the wrong question. They were so focused on answering the why question that they missed what Jesus saw, an opportunity. Rather than identifying who or what was to blame, Jesus saw an opportunity for God to move miraculously in the life of this man. It was an opportunity for God to reveal himself by bringing good from a tough situation. It was an opportunity for God to be glorified. If you continue to read John's account of this exchange in chapter 9, you'll see that this was one of Jesus' greatest miracles. Jesus not only healed this man physically, but also spiritually. Talk about a life transformed. Where the disciples saw a theological case study, Jesus saw a man hurting and an opportunity for God to be glorified. We too have that same tendency to focus on the wrong question in times of suffering. The next time you're tempted to ask why or answer the why question, change the question. Look for the opportunity by asking how. How can we minister? How can you encourage? How can you care in order to bring good out of a difficult situation, all the while displaying the transformative love of Jesus Christ? Something to meditate on today. Until next time, love you guys. Keep looking up.